Any of you ladies like stereo music?
I do.
Any of you ladies like stereo music?
I do.
I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for 15 or 20 minutes about, I went to see a doctor. And I think the most important thing he said to me was, Wilford, get a cat. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly the way it's been. I was scared. The man doesn't like to admit he was scared, but I truly was afraid of cats. My cat's the worst thing in the world. In closing, I would simply like to say to you, cat. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Astley.
Talk about the human origin, which is right here. This is what we was discussing in the podcast earlier today, which is all audio. So we go get into this, and that's why, we mentioned the soul and the path of the soul from here now. In a controlled environment, basically controlled by the evil peoples. And like I said, they have to take you here in this middle right here for the manipulation. A lot of people don't understand. So this map right here gonna break it down a little bit for you so you can understand. This is where they have you in the center right here. And if you know this flightradar.com gonna show you that how the plane move around in this earth right here in the circle, in this part of the earth. They don't want you to get no kind of glimpse of these right here, these continents that outside of the ring. Do you get it? So that's why we talked about it earlier. The human origin is not here. They lied to you the whole time because we're not from here. That's why the sun killing you, the heat. I shouldn't say the sun, the heat waves that they got all around the world. Wildfire burning you. You're getting rain, flood, mudslide, earthquake, everything in the book right here, in this circle right here. So you have to understand this is not where the human come from. The human didn't originate it from this circle right here that they have us in. But like I say, we need assistance once we leave the original spot right there. Now, the reason why I'm going to talk about it before we get into anything else, the reason why I feel like this right here is basically the Garden of Eden. Sound stupid? Yeah, well, they mentioned that shit and it's there. For real. And I talk about food in abundance and it grown in the dirt, in the earth, naturally. Most of it you don't even have to plant. It just grow. And most of the food that you're getting right here in this circle, they imitate it from here. The flavor and everything, the texture of food, they imitate and give you nothing but fakery in this circle. So you have to understand what's going on. They prepare everything for you in here because naturality don't exist there in the circle. It exists right there. And like I say, I do believe that this is the one that we from. Not here, not there, not here. Do you understand? They have name on it, but don't worry about the names. I'm just showing you this right here so you understand that they can show you only this in the circle. Give you all history and everything fakery, but you actually from somewhere else. The reason why I say right here is because it's actually at the gate. It's easier for them to take us from right here into this circle and nobody have an idea. Nobody think about it. You can't think outside the circle. You don't know nothing else. But I'm showing you right here. That's what I believe human origin is from. Right there. Okay. So with all that being said, and we talk about the soul and where the soul supposed to be right there. Now if you start life here, this is where the battle begins. In the land of manipulation. 100% in. So like I say, materials, you know, with dreams that they sell you, tell you what valuable in life, or you rank people and everything happen in the circle. Could never happen out here. Why? Enough naturality is there to keep the masses happy and good. They don't seek for nothing else but the supposed naturality. And they live off that and they're good, healthy and everything. Live 10, 20 times longer than they do in this circle. So you have to understand that's where they take you from. And they lie to you and tell you all human beings come from here. But it's only black people they move. What a dumb shit. But there's not too many supposedly different races there. Mostly black people, but the black people is the one they move, but it's still occupied by mostly black people. Makes no sense. So yes, your origin is not from Africa, what they call the motherland. It's outside of that circle. Bam. That's the Garden of Eden. And like I say, meat-like texture, flavor and everything grow on trees. And another thing that you're gonna shock again to understand, there is no night. 100% no night right there. You believe it? Okay, they tell you about some part in Antarctica that never go dark. They lie to you. It's right here. I already told you. The way the sun and everything move on the earth keep right here light. Remember, the way darkness can be in the middle right there. Yes, all by design. The sun gone out of this area, out of the circle, and you get no light from it every single time. So guess what? This is all by design to give you artificial lighting. Part of what breaks your skin down and make you look old. A lot of people don't get that part of this truth right here, but that's exactly what they did. You don't need no artificial light here. Wow, unbelievable that people would have passed this up and take it for a joke, but it's real. No night, just daytime. Remember, the night is never go in your favor. Just remember that shit. You don't need night to sleep. Okay? What else you need night for? Artificial lighting. That's the only thing you get from night. Now they have to make light so you can see. You understand that? Yes, the faraway land right there. That most song them refer to a land. They refer to the faraway land with no night. The tree produce food, all kinds of food. I'm not talking about just supposedly fruits. The fruits is like food, the texture and the flavor and everything from these land right there. Now I mentioned the supposedly chemicals and the destruction is not coming from the circle, people. It made for animals right there. The creator created for animals to live. Not every animal that you see here belong here. Yes, they also remove them also and bring them in the circle. A lot of them. The ones that need supposedly assistance like us. Some of them was manipulated and recreated and all of that. You know, spread them out and make more of them. But the circle, only certain animals can survive in there. Only certain animals. And you can use common sense and figure it out. The ones that don't need your assistance to live. The human being is not one of them. The human being needs assistance from the people who run that circle. You understand? The people that run the circle, they own you. They own you right there. So that means when you're born in this world, you can't live here without them. I don't understand why people can't grasp it. We need medication. We need all of these things from them. We need them to familiarize us, food, everything. They're the one who put us on that. We never asked for it. We're born into this world, in this circle. Right there. We're born into this circle because they move humanity here. So like I say, it's too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter. That's not good habitat for the human being. Do you understand that? And a place where they make disasters. As you can see, disasters everywhere. They're the one who created it in this circle. Now, like I say, out here, it's harder for them to control you because of what the naturality brings there. It probably rain every other day. Keep everything, vegetation and everything green. Keep the earth moist. Keep the earth cool, everything. You have to understand, that's how naturality works. When you come in here, everything, even the trees was planted, where they get the seeds from, people. That's not just a question I'm throwing out there. It's a real question. Where is these seeds come from? You have melons without no seeds. Where did the seeds come from? They have to create it from scratch, people. And like I say, one of these places over here, yes, is where they do the chemicals. They have the labs and everything, the wicked labs, and they just ship it all the way into the earth. Some of these technology, chip and all. Like I said, they mention about Madagascar where the earth is, they got these rare earth and making these chips and for phone and all these devices and fat screen TV and all of these things that come from that chip that you get from, you get the material to make the chip from Madagascar in the ground. It's a lie. It's a 100% lie. Like I say, the technology never come from real human beings. It comes from the fallen ones. They're creating them shit somewhere in one of these right here. One of these. That's where they at. Creating all the damn shit for you. Then they ship it in. 100%. And don't worry about it. They control the whole thing. The whole earth. They control it. They have access to it. It's just us in the dark. That's what you need to understand. And I got another one looking like this. Same thing. If you look at it. But somebody said, the person who sent me this right here told me that this is in the UN office, supposedly in New York. But I can't verify that. I try, but there's no way I could find. I searched every photos in there and I couldn't find this one. But it's just another picture of the earth again, or supposedly image of the earth, and it shows you the gate right there, the opening, and it shows you this continent sitting right there. So you see that right there? Not only one map show you this shit. So like I say, that gate right there, we're not too far away from it. But if you notice, take a look at the water in between right here where you get the gate. See if you understand what I'm saying. Take a walk from here, from out where I show you this continent right there. And if you walk straight to this space in the middle, all water. So you see what I'm saying? It's a longer journey to the gate to get to that continent right there. Do you see? It's just water, people. Now, these right here that the land go all the way to a dead end. After you see water, that's a dead end. So something is there blocking it off, or a border. Okay, you come right here. Yes, you might be closer to the edge, but you're not going anywhere. You're just gonna go to a wall. Suppose it be ice wall right there. But at the gate where you get out, all water, people. So that make it 100% more difficult to get to from the land right there in the middle, to go all the way to this hole to get to this continent. It might look simple, but it's a long journey, and you're gonna have too much obstacle in your way. They set it up like that. Too much obstacle, and they control the temperature and everything right there. So you have to understand, we're living in a controlled environment. No joke about it. We're in the middle, and they only show you this. UNU is in the middle right there where the circle at. They use that for their logo. The same shit. That's what it is. 100% in. So now you understand what's going on. And then they show you this. You hear me? Yes, the UN used this basically for a logo in the circle. And then they show you this in real life and tell you this is what you live on right there, people. Now, this is a joke. Now, I'm going to show you some things that you're going to face when you live in the circle. What they have to do to keep you here. They create things, they put things together, they manipulate just to keep you in shambles. Like I say, the manipulation costs you to lose your soul in this earth. That's no lie. It costs you to lose your soul. All the material things that they fool you with, you lose your soul because of that. You miss the point because of what you're chasing. You're chasing the wrong thing for dreams. You understand what I'm saying? They tell you these things, and vanity is the way to go in this earth and all of that. It's only gonna lead you to losing your soul. That's exactly why they bring you here. Like I say, they're gonna use you as soldiers to go against the Creator. That's what they plan. Bam.
You've heard of plant-based protein powder, but what if the next alternative was made out of plastic?
Do you hear this, people? Like I said, this side of the earth that they take you, they can manipulate you all the way. So I mentioned this one long time ago in a video, maybe 2007.
Temperature 41 degrees, still well above the 23 degrees of dew point. So if we rise a little bit more, elevate ourselves a little higher, we get up to about 10,000 feet. And
What's your name?
Eric. Russia.
As awesome as it's been to live and work here for so long, it's super good news.
It's still not cold enough for condensation to occur.
And that was really revealing to me.
Can you see, when you're in outer space, can you see
flat Earth?
Thousands of feet, tens of thousands of feet? Are you?
America section.
The flat.
It's 92 minutes. That could give us just 92 minutes of what it looks like and what you could see from your eye.
We have 92 minutes, as it says on the book, around and around Amazon also.
Would it be possible to have, I mean, do we have a camera? It's 92 minutes. That could give us just 92 minutes of what it looks like.
Flat Earth.
To take pictures of it, it's just flat and gorgeous to see.
Flat Earth.
And that was really revealing to me.
Can you?
I saw this video. I watched these weird YouTube videos, like that. The array of content that I consume is ridiculous. And I watched this one that showed what the ISS would look like if it was like at 10,000 feet, orbiting Earth, the International Space Station.
Yeah.
Right. So that when that thing's in space, orbiting Earth, it takes 90 minutes, I believe it is. Fact check me on all these numbers here to orbit the Earth, which is moving at a speed of like 17,500 miles an hour, like an extremely fast speed, a speed you, as far as we know, cannot reach here in any man-made vehicle. But when you're orbiting the Earth and your orbit is being propelled by Earth's gravity, you can go that fast, right? That makes sense. So when this thing is at 10,000 feet, if you're standing here and it zips by at that speed, you can imagine how fast it's gone, right?
Yeah.
The Tic Tac that dropped from 50,000 feet to 5 feet above the ocean in like a matter of seconds moves faster than that. If that's indicative at all of how fast these things are moving, it does make sense why they're impossible to capture on camera, why we never see them. They could be here in a much more dense way than we currently see, but you're never gonna see them. They're gonna zip by the sky and they're
and they go fuck yeah, and then
well, because they're defying physics. The way supposedly, and I bet this is how these crafts are wired, is that they do not obey the laws of physics that we know because of the technology that we have. If you drop the car off to the Egyptians, 2000 BCE, they know maybe could figure out how to turn it on, but how the fuck did you make any of this?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to the Egyptians. That's my conspiracy. The erosions on the Sphinx, how it could be 20,000 years old. Look, the Sphinx. No. Listen, I said this conspiracy theory last time that I was on this podcast, but the moon being a UFO that's keeping us in gravitation makes sense.
Whoa, that's something a flat earther would say. Just be careful.
You're a flat earther.
No, I'm not.
No, I saw it.
No.
He knew there would be backlash, so he pretended it was a
Oh,
yeah. You thought, the original doco was him proving everyone. It's like,
that whole story I told about my friend falling off the side of the flat earth is real. No, it was real. That was my first acting.
Does that mean Alexander the Great was a flat earther? Because he wanted to reach the end of the world? Like, they didn't have satellites.
He didn't know it. Yeah,
he should have known.
He should have known.
He should have had Google
What an
Maps
idiot.
existed, and they were that advanced. If they were that advanced, thousands and thousands of years, and they could travel light years across galaxies and space and time, you think they're going to be zooming around near the ocean to be able to survey us? No way.
No.
They could do it from bloody light years away.
Well,
unless it's like, I don't believe
No,
because you know what it could be? I don't believe it. But you know what it could be? It could be like a lower, it's like, there's
Cheap or strange to a flat earther. Space station's ugly when you know you're enclosed. Basin seem wicked, NASA unwanted. Streets are all even on flat ground. When you're strange, sheep will come out of the rain. When you're strange, trolls remember your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Sheep are strange, believe in NASA. Moon landing's ugly when you know there's a dome. Globe's a sickness, a theory of weakness. Water is level, know your own home. When you're strange, gravity never explained. When you're strange, ballers and float in your brain. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. All right, yeah.
Okay, Dawson. Get ready. 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
There are 13 constellations in the sky, not 12, that the sun passes through. And in fact, the sun spends more time in Ophiuchus than it does in Scorpius.
See, that's one of those words.
Yeah, are you Ophiucan? Yeah. I mean, if you think you're a Scorpius, you're probably an Ophiucan, because the sun is in Ophiucan for more time than it was in Scorpius. And the entire horoscope scale has been shifted by 1 month over the past 2,000 years when it was first laid out, because Earth is wobbling on its axis and changes the relationship of the sun in the sky against the constellations. So most Scorpions are Ophiucans, and all Scorpions and Ophiucans are currently Librans. None of the horoscopes tell you that, because they're making money off of it. It's $1 billion a year.
Survival school. Topography map. What makes this United States military issued topography map of Washington State so very interesting is dangerous animals, spiders, scorpions, plants, poisonous plants. But now pay attention, there's no editing in this video whatsoever. One take. Sasquatch. Listed under dangerous animals. So, is that proof that Sasquatch really does exist? This is a map that was issued by the United States.
Okay, that's fine. We can, but how about science in America? Uh-oh. Okay, let's see where this takes us. There's enough older folks in here, old folks. You remember, raise your hand if you're an old folk. Raise your hand. There you go, thank you. You remember the day when we used to dream about tomorrow, don't you? You remember every week there'd be some article in the newspaper, in the magazine, the city of tomorrow, transportation of tomorrow, the kitchen of tomorrow. Anyone younger than 30 doesn't even know what tomorrow is. They can't even pronounce the word, all right? Sorry for the low res on this picture, but it doesn't matter. That's how we used to think of tomorrow. This was the future in 1988, right? This is drawn in the 1950s, in 60s, thinking about the 1960s, thinking about the 1980s. Let's take a close look at what's going on in America. I think we have fear of numbers. For example, okay, here goes one. Maybe it's not fear, maybe it's ignorance of numbers. Okay. Science illiteracy is rampant in our culture. I'm not telling. I've changed my views 360. If you don't remember what 360 degrees is, it is that, okay? Now, I wonder, maybe the congressperson did do that. Exactly. Maybe they're just trying to fool you. Maybe they're trying to make you think they changed their mind, but they did not, okay? I'd have more respect for them lying with correct math, okay? But I'm pretty sure he was telling the truth with math ignorance. Half the schools in the district are below average. You know, that's kind of what an average sort of is, right? About half below. That's kind of what, not exactly maybe, but pretty much so. Technically, that would be, what would that be? The median, technically, but still. What the journalist probably meant to say was half the schools are below standards or below grade level, but they said below average, which meant they were mathematically illiterate. If that were actually true, something would be wrong with the state of mathematics.
Kids who think that they can do their own research.
Don't do any of your own research. Doing your own research is associated with conspiracy theory circles.
This go-it-alone approach, doing your own research, that can have serious consequences.
You should get prison time for even questioning the...
We all stop saying, I need to do my own research.
That phrase, do your own research, 4 words, 4 little words that are hurting America.
Doing your own research hurts America!
Everybody has a supercomputer in their hand that empowers them to do their own research, and that's the problem.
You must not do your own research.
I need to do my own research.
I don't understand what that means. I'm doing my own research. You can't do your own research unless you're a scientist. And do your own research.
Maybe you've told yourself you're playing it safe, you just want to wait and see. No.
Roll the up. Do you actually know what you are watching when you turn on the TV? Do you really see what they're showing you? This world is not what you've been led to believe, and you're not just being entertained.
Like, you hear about it, but it's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on.
If you watched the opening ceremony for Gothard Tunnel, you would be left with a strange feeling. This 5-hour event was attended by governments from across the globe to celebrate the opening of the world's longest tunnel. But the bizarre show was clearly satanic, and it had no obvious relevance to a train tunnel opening. We are constantly being bombarded with biblical symbolism, with strong demonic themes. If it's not Satan himself, it's horned figures, or the number 666, or people wearing robes, standing in a sacrificial circle, or offerings being made at an altar. Lil Nas X gave Satan a lap dance in his video Call Me By Your Name, and no one batted an eyelid, because it's art, or because it's funny, or because it's cool. But at some point, you have to stop and think. Why is this symbolism so prevalent? And why is it even included in pop music, or artists who are not edgy rock stars? By the end of this video, you will realise that there's nothing actually edgy or artistic about it at all. Art is supposed to be unique, and that's often what makes it special. But these videos are just repeating the same thing. When you compare all of the footage together, you can see that they keep showing the exact same symbols and the exact same biblical scenes. Many of these artists preach atheism, although some claim to be Christian. If they were really atheists, then why would they keep recreating biblical scenes? And if they are actually Christian, then why are they so obsessed with the devil? One obvious theme that's repeatedly pushed in the media is the story of Adam and Eve, a story that depicts the fall of mankind.
Today we're going to talk about the differences between the globe, heliocentric model, and the flat earth model. They are two completely separate models. Don't get them confused with each other. This is not the flat earth model. This is a representation of the flat earth model created by heliocentrics to confuse you and make it into a joke, because this is not the actual model, and I'll show you what it really is. So on that last example, you could see how the heliocentric model, the globe model, and the firmament flat earth model are intertwined with each other, and there's both beliefs in the same system. That is not correct. They're two separate. So here is the flat earth model. There's a firmament. The stars, the moon, and the sun are all inside of the firmament. Outside of the firmament is waters from above and below. So on this flat earth model, everything that we know is inside of the firmament. The sun, the moon, the stars are all inside the firmament. And the planets on the flat earth model are very different than they are on the heliocentric model. On the flat earth model, the planets are luminaries, they're wandering stars, they're sources of light. They are not landable surfaces like Earth is. On the flat earth model, Earth is the only realm. It's the only planet-like realm that there is to exist. So on the globe model, space is outside of the globe. On the flat earth model, space is inside of the firmament. Going to the globe model now, all of this is completely different than the flat earth model. This is heliocentrism, where the sun is in the center, it's the biggest, and all of the other planets revolve around the sun. This is heliocentrism. This is a flat earth model, completely different. On the heliocentric globe model, they say that the sun is 93 million miles away from Earth, everything revolves around the sun, and it's way larger than every other planet, including Earth. On the flat earth model, the sun and the moon are local. They're both their own sources of light. The moon is a lesser light than the sun, and they illuminate as a spotlight on a certain area in a fixed position, and they move around as like a spotlight in order to illuminate a certain area at a certain time. And we all know that on the globe model, the moon is a rock that the sun is shining on to illuminate it. So it's not its own light on the globe model. One of the biggest differences on the globe versus the flat earth is water. So on the globe, you could see that water is 360 around it, sticking to a ball that's spinning. There's no container holding the water, and gravity holds it in. On the flat earth model, our Earth's surface is extremely vast and it does not curve. It's stationary, flat, and water is always flat and level on the flat earth model. But water still is level and flat on this model, don't forget. The globe model spins and moves and all these motions are happening. Flat earth is stationary, completely not moving, and the stars, sun, and the moon rotate around Earth. So yeah, those are some of the key differences between the two models, and let me know if you would like a part 2 on this.
The hard giant, YouTube.
Alright, well NASA released some amazing images. Let's check it out, shall we? So this is a little older image, but I wanted to show it anyway. I just love the galaxies in it, and it's just an incredible image. Like, all this is just really amazing. Next is our new image that they just released from the James Webb Telescope. So this is the image. Yeah, it's just a little pattern going on here. 6, no big deal. Yeah, so it's just really amazing, all of the detail and all of the galaxies, and it's just copy and paste is a really amazing thing. Here's another one from James Webb. Yep, okay, and yeah, love it, love to see it. My personal favorite is the finale of the James Webb Telescope. I just love that it's so real that it looks fake. Space, of course. I'm gonna take their word for it. $10 billion to take those pictures. So just for reference, this Hubble telescope image that we have here, we paid $10 billion to do this. So just brighten it up a little bit. $10 billion to change the colors and brighten it up. Here's one more time so you can see. And then if you just scroll down on the article, the Webb can look back into time, into the Big Bang, just after the Big Bang happened, looking into galaxies far away. It took light billions of years to get there. Is anyone else just tired of it? One more thing. Hubble observed the universe 450 million years after the Big Bang. Okay. A lot of people that I know have been reposting this, so I thought, let me check the Facebook and just see the comments under it. I'll show you 2 top comments that there are. The significance of our existence is insignificance. That's the top comment on NASA's images, is what people get out of this is that we're insignificant. One more, top comment. Beautiful, but we are a speck. They have reached their goal, is what they're doing. Is the Earth flat? Oh, is the Earth a globe? Interesting. is NASA a bunch of liars?
We're not going to rehash what we talked about on the panel last week. We debated global. Two of the people did not. One person didn't believe it. Two of them didn't believe in evolution.
Whether or not you believe in it, you see, that's the. I'm just saying.
That's very good. But.
I get you a soda and fries if you let me open up your eyes. Then when you say why, let me kiss you and tell you the lie. You never know. I'll get you a soda and fries if you let me open your mind. I'll get you a soda and some fries. Let me open up your mind. Ow, ow. Yeah, ow. I'll get you a soda and fries if you let me open your mind. And when you ask me why, you let me kiss you and tell you all the lies. Let me open your eyes. I'll get you a soda and fries. Let me open your eyes. Oh, my little yeah. And when you ask me why, you let me kiss you and tell you all the lies. I'll get you a soda and some fries if you let me open your eyes. I'll get you a soda and some fries if you let me open your eyes. And when you ask me why, let me kiss you, tell you all the lies you never know. Yeah.
Some fresh air becomes more clear as long as we are still the lower air. And then when we go in the stratosphere, we close here, you
get you a soda and some fries. Open your eyes. I'll get you a soda and some fries.
ding dong, rabba labba 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 ding.
Rich guys like rockets and so do the babes. Rich guys like rockets, right? Rich guys like rockets and so do the babes. The rich guys make rockets, but now they gotta pay.
I mean this sincerely. This is not a broad criticism of all Republicans. This is not your father's Republican Party. This is a different breed of cat.
Was this collision itself an accident on Russia's behalf?
As soon as you're born, they make you feel small. Telling you lies that the earth is a ball, till the lies are so big you feel nothing at all. A flat earth hero is something to be. A flat earth hero is something to be. They hurt you at home and they get you at school. They hate you if you're clever and despise a fool. Till you're so crazy, you can't follow their rules. A flat earth hero is something to be. A flat earth hero is something to be. When they fooled and deceived you for 20 odd years, and then they expect you to pick a career when you can't really function, you're so full of fear. Flat earth hero is something to be. A flat earth hero is something to be. Keep you dope with scientism and sex on TV, and you think you're so clever, so classless and free, but you're still in globe heads as far as I see. A flat earth hero is something to be. A flat earth hero is something to be. The world spins around, they are telling you still. But first you deny everything that you feel. If you wanna be like the fools on the hill. A flat earth hero is something to be. A flat earth hero is something to be. If you wanna be a hero, well, just look and see. If you wanna be a hero, well, just look and see.
Amazing, what an amazing cheat. Amazing, what an amazing cheat.
So why didn't I flinch?
Before we leave you, here it is, your moment of Zen.
Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of for 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 fundamentally from those of.
Alright, I got some water in this painting today. I love water. It's easy to paint. Still water is always level.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
And they want a bam.
What's a BAM?
A bam, bam.
Meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Okay, give me a bam. Bam.
Of the Flat Earth Society.
Says it's flat.
That's a bam. All right.
Of the Flat Earth Society.
Says it's flat.
Bam. That's another bam.
Is it a hole? Is it a hole?
All right. Hey.
Hey, Willie, how's it going?
Bam.
The law of gravity is nonsense. No such law exists.
Bam. Okay.
You realize that in addition to fluoridating water, where there are studies underway to fluoridate salt, flour, fruit juices?
Bang! That's another bang.
You realize that in addition to fluoridating water, where there are studies underway to fluoridate salt, flour, fruit juices, soup, sugar, milk, ice cream, mandrake, children's ice cream.
Is he?
Lieutenant Colonel, I just want one commitment from you. When you head to Mars, you won't take Jill, so you can be gone too long. When you head to Mars, you won't take Jill, so you can be gone too long. You know, the Persian culture is amazing. As a student of the Persian culture, not a practitioner, but a student.
Pollutes. You know where they refine it? In Houston. And they refine it in Houston. So if you're a big believer in that, all that stuff is going up in our country. The union endorsed Biden, but all the workers are for Trump.
Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down? We do. We do.
I can no longer sit back and allow communist infiltration, communist indoctrination, communist subversion, and the international communist conspiracy to sap and impurify all of our precious bodily fluids.
Listen very carefully. Here's the flag.
No, fluoride in the water. That fluoride in the water thing is so sketchy. Have you ever looked into whether or not fluoride should be in the water?
At last, my dream come true.
Hello, Earth. Hello, what? If that's the Earth.
Yes. High space technology.
Connection.
Is real. The mustard gas, anthrax, napalm to the bombs.
Another news, bicycle scientists have announced the world is now flat.
Hey! It's fun!
Want to listen to some tunes?
And I'm gonna sing a song for you!
Want to listen to some tunes?
Ground control to Major Tom.
Here's another example of the same spring water that was collected on a different day, and you'll notice.
Look what I found on Space Station.
Wait, Earth. Yes, we play squash together.
Yes.
They're all liars. Yeah. I have to ask you about something. I like many people. No, this just goes.
Okay.
The year was 1933.
Whoa.
Absolutely true.
Sir,
and that's what people need to hear from him. Now, it's important to note, President Biden does nothing at 9 a.m. He is a night owl. So the fact that he is doing this at 9 a.m. anyway speaks to how vital the White House recognizes it is for him to have his voice out there, conveying that to the American public.
all right, Steve Ratner, thank you.
President Biden does nothing at 9 a.m.
I'm not going to get into more questions. I shouldn't even answer your question. No, I don't think that
the Earth is flat. And they hang out with
Got a lot of people up there. So Elton John once told me.
And up on the space station, there is a guitar.
You know, when I do my last song and we knock it down, the place is going crazy, and then they start screaming, "Encore, encore, come back." And he'll come back, he'll do another good one, drive him. Then he comes back, and he hits a little bit of a dud. The people leave unhappy. It's very stupid to do a couple of questions, but let's give it a shot. Should we do that? Should we or not? Yes? Secured on day one, and then we have to make a decision. What do we do with the 15 million people
that the Earth is flat? And they hang out
that have invaded our country.
They're all liars.
Okay.
The year was 1933.
Everything didn't go right, and it worked.
You gotta watch
Pathway.
No laughs, just cute stuff. That's all I do.
How many cities is this going to be?
Which is that's a good trait to have. You plug things in and dials, and it's temperature controlled, blah, blah, blah.
An additional punitive damage award of more than $33 million plus attorney's fees.
This is the product. Ready? Orange drink.
The stand to the screen, so I always wanted to be in film.
And what did the snake say to you again?
Blah, blah, blah. Controlled, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
It is Photoshop, but it's has to be.
And they won't obey.
An additional punitive damage award of more than $33 million plus attorney's fees.
This is the product. You ready? Orange drink. Bam! That's the band. Bam! That's another band.
America in space. What would you do? We are now seeing on the streets of our cities has nothing to do with America. It's justice do or what do with the violence and vandalism is being led. Radical left-wing groups, rioters, looters, and anarchists who are terrorizing the innocent, destroying jobs. Rioters, looters, and anarchists do horrible rioters, looters, and anarchists. Lovely communities. The mobs, we will be protecting those who have the least. Not tearing down. Joining hands that brings us together as Americans. That same spirit which powered our citizens right here on Earth. When Americans are united, there is nothing we cannot do.
Let's have Yankee Doodle Dandy. This game tell us island, the Vipers do it. Rioters, looters, and anarchists.
Yeah, I'd like to order one large person with extra people, please. White people. No. Black people. And Hispanic on half.
I'm not sure if anyone saw this. Appalachian magazine. Okay.
Whatever way you go, whatever way you go, can only begin.
Seems to be pretty objective. To West Virginia. Lived in Charleston. That's pretty cool. Check it out if you want. Put the link in the description. He's on the plane.
not a subject matter that I can relate to. I could, once he's back.
Khan.
The effect that the Enterprise is a flying death trap?
Thank you, sir.
She changed your hairstyle?
Hadn't noticed.
No one's authority.
Uhura, what's happening?
Transmission jammed at the source, sir.
You take the shit.
Jim, you proceed from a false assumption.
As to Project Genesis summary.
Identify for retina scan.
Kirk, Admiral James T.
Security scan approved.
Summary, please.
Fascinating.
The reformed moon simulated here represents the merest fraction of the Genesis potential, should the Federation wish to fund these experiments to their logical conclusion. When we consider the cosmic problems of population and food supply, the usefulness of this process becomes clear. This concludes our proposal.
And to govern your passions, they will be your undoing. Rely on it.
It is very cold in space.
I'm getting a voice message. They say their chambers coil is overloading their comm system.
Spock.
Scanning.
Ray Shields.
Fire!
Yellow alert.
I can't get power, sir.
Who had beaten you? Khan.
Khan.
Me, Khan.
In the center of a dead planet. Buried alive. Buried alive.
Khan! Khan!
I don't understand. Who's responsible for all this? Who is Khan?
Well, it's a long story. We appear to have plenty of time.
Get ready. Coming through out there!
Senator, you're up for election in 3 short years. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
That's okay. What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Go!
Means not only playing music, but as you can see, also remaining just a touch outrageous. Jane?
All right, thank you, Boyd. Take care of your health this year. Go get that COVID vaccine and get your flu shot.
Oh, Stan.
Yes?
The sheep have arrived.
Oh, good. So I hear. From week to week, we will be bringing you, let us just say, rather unusual guest attractions. Including an interview with the abominable snowman, blueprints for a build-it-yourself swamp, and 3D stereopticon slides of the Johnstown flood with the original cast. Today, however, in honor of Bastille Day, we bring you direct from the Basque region of France Monsieur Marcel Toulet and his original tuned sheep chorus.
This is Savick. Come in, please.
Yes, Savick, go ahead.
Wow.
Sir?
Monsieur, it's a great pleasure.
Can't hold this in any longer. Get him, creep. And there are still people out there who believe the earth is flat. It's like they took a wrong turn around the 15th century and never got back. Oh, let me guess, the earth is flat because it looks flat. Really? And let's not forget the absurd flat earth map. I've got news for you, sunshine. It curves away at the horizon. Not a long jump to oblivion. It's not a conspiracy, it's called gravity. You know that thing that keeps you from floating off into space? And instead of admitting their ignorance, flat earthers, oh, bless their little hearts. They're like the D-grade students of science class. They fail to grasp the basics. Flat earthers, let's face it, NASA, according to you, are faking things, ignoring the evidence. They cherry-pick experiments. They dismiss the expertise of astronauts, scientists, and experts who have dedicated their entire lives to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. They're just free from thinking. Doesn't exist because the earth is round. Doesn't exist because the earth is round. Doesn't exist because the earth is round. Doesn't exist because the earth is round.
I've been cooking up this rap, it's coming straight out of the oven. About all the flat earth preachers, yeah, they just speak the truth, right? Trying to wake everybody up to see the new light, knowing all the evidence presented that ain't too bright, and substituting in their own cold moonlight, denying all the proof of things like outer space and gravity. When I try to educate them, they get mad at me and spit their profanities and deny reality and call it a fallacy. It's just insanity.
Doesn't exist because the earth is round. 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 I feels much better.
All right, watch this next. But before you do, get a creaky blinder.
11 when you heard it.
I was deeply concerned that this could have been,
realistic. It looks kind of flat.
Another highly organized attack on the country, and it still may be. Again, I don't know the facts, but I do know that it's really hard.
But it's has to be. It is Photoshop, but it has to be. It is Photoshop, but it's 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 has to be.
I see I've confused you.
But it's has to be. It is Photoshop, but it's has to be. It is Photoshop, but it's has to be. It is Photoshop, but it's has to be. Denies that this challenge is real. It's kind of flat.
Guess he's back, 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 bitch.
A ninja. Let's go!
Break them down.
Oh, Mr. Freeburg.
Yes.
I would not touch that if I were you.
Oh?
No. We never open that up here in Washington.
Well, I was just going to, I see. Well, sorry. Good evening. I'm Stan Freeburg. Welcome to the Federal Budget Review, or the $600 billion misunderstanding.
Mr. Freeburg,
Yes.
now you've lost me.
I beg your pardon.
$600 billion? In real life, is that an actual amount of money?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid it is. That's the federal budget of the United States. That's how much money the government spends to run the country for just 1 year, more or less, you know.
It's too much. I can't absorb it.
All right, well, that breaks down to about $2 billion a day the government is spending.
Too much? I still
Can't absorb it. All right, take a look at this. At the Chamber of Commerce building in Washington, D.C. is a clock. This is some actual film of that clock. Every time the hand sweeps around, the government spends another $10,000.
You're kidding.
No, with every sweep of the hand, another $10,000 is spent. Day and night, 7 days a week, and it never stops. See? 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000.
10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000,
10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000.
Oh, the federal budget, the wonderful, fanciful federal budget. Oh, how can the people in Washington judge it? They can't. For the budget that used to be 300 million is suddenly hovering at 600 billion. One morning we'll wake up and find it's a trillion. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. One morning we'll wake up and find it's a trillion. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If the government hasn't the money, what on earth will the government do? Oh, but now's the part that gets funny. They'll come take it from me and you. They'll come take it from me and you. The budget you see is the budget you got. It may seem like an Alice in Wonderland plot, but the sooner you realize that it is not, the better off you'll be. With a budget that's built like a dinosaur, we should dump it just outside of Baltimore. But the feds at the jump, and we're stuck with this lump of a gift for you and me. If you hear that the budget is balanced, don't believe everything that you hear. The same people would probably tell you that the Easter Bunny is here. That the Easter Bunny is here. And the budget you see is the budget you got. It may seem like an Alice in Wonderland plot, but the sooner you realize that it is not, the better off you'll be. With a budget that's built like a dinosaur, we should dump it just outside of Baltimore. But the feds are the jump, and we're stuck with this lump. But the feds are the jump, and we're stuck with this lump of a gift for you and me.
Mr. Freeburg,
Yes.
will we ever see the budget?
Yeah, right there.
No. I mean the actual budget.
Oh, you mean the budget itself?
Yes.
Oh, is that what you'd like to see? Could we have the federal budget itself, please?
The federal budget of the United States of America.
Where do you want the book?
Ah, well, let's see. You like it here? How about a little bit to the left?
I think I'd like to see it a little open.
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 You want the book open?
That's it. I'll help you.
No problem.
Oh.
Just a minute. What's going on here?
Well, we were just trying to open the
Well, don't you
budget.
think the United States government has procedures for this kind of thing?
Well, could we see one of those procedures then?
Yes, you may.
What? Nice elephant.
Yes, but isn't that a little partisan?
Pardon me?
Well, the elephant's okay for some people, but what about the donkey?
No problem. Can we see the donkey, please? There you go. There's your donkey. There's your donkey.
Perfect.
Of course, yes.
How does this budget get to be so big?
Oh, well, I'll try to explain to the both of you here. One of the explanations could be the Freiburg political neutron bomb theory.
Can you give me that again?
Yes. The presidential election every 4 years is sort of like a political neutron bomb. It blows away the previous administration, but leaves the federal budget standing. You see? You follow that? Yeah. Right. I'd like to just take this moment to give a big hand to the thousands of bureaucrats and all those nearly invisible bureaus and government agencies for helping to pad this into one of the great federal budgets of our time. Other budgets may come and go, but in the big budget hall of fame, this will be the one to beat. Oh, yeah. The Babe Ruth of budgets. The one that knocked America out of the park. Well, who gets the credit for the work that went into a spectacular budget like this? Huh? Well, it was a team effort, believe me. Not just the people who did so much to waste parts of it, but, you know, those who asked for and got important government grants to fund things like a new $2.8 million building to be attached to the $8.9 million building already standing to house a wheelbarrow full of moon rocks. And then, of course, the now classic federal grant of well over $1 million to test whether fish get drunker from tequila or gin. Terrific. So I've written a special song about all this, and it was my good fortune to be able to get the lady who's going to sing it for you now. Direct from Broadway, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Millicent Martin.
I would like to dedicate this little number to all my friends in the United States Senate and the House of Reps, many of whom are right down front tonight. All you guys who keep asking for federal money and get it year after year for all kinds of junk. Well, here's a little number from all of us here in the Federal Budget Review for you.
You got your money now, but Mr. Beware. $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Before you know it, you're talking real money. 2.8 million to get some lunar rock stashed. $1 million more to get some mackerel smashed. Before you know it, you're talking real bucks. You think unless you're asking for money, you'll look like some kind of kook. And so you grab another $500 million for some damning dubuque. So I reiterate, in case you should care, $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Before you know it, you're talking real dough. Appropriations properly nurtured soon burst into bulk. How do you think that mild-mannered budget turned into the Hulk? So I reiterate, in case you should care, $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Before you know it, you're talking real Mazuma, my friend. You have a federal budget you can cling to right to the end.
It has been pointed out that the annual budget of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare was larger than the annual budget of any country on Earth, with the exception of the United States and Russia. True, true. In spite of that department's reorganization, we've been able to call together one more time the great Department of Health, Education, and Welfare Tabernacle Choir.
Education and welfare to your million employees unfurled. You don't seem so much like a department. You seem more like the third largest nation in the world. Rampant rivers of regulation, mighty mountains of paperwork. If you stretched out your red tape, who could measure its girth? So we sing to your help. Education and welfare, mighty, mightiest department on this earth. Rampant rivers of regulations, mighty mountains of paperwork. If you stretched out your red tape, who could measure
When the country was young, paying your taxes was relatively simple. You know, a few pennies here and there. But as the country grew... Oh, the federal budget, the wonderful, fanciful federal budget. Oh, how can the people in Washington judge it? They can't. With a budget that used to be 300 million is suddenly hovering at 600 billion. One morning we'll wake up and find it's a trillion. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
One morning we'll wake up and find it's a trillion. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
If the government hasn't the money, what on earth will the government do? Well, we're now at the part that gets funny. They'll come take it from me and you.
They'll come take it from me and you.
And the budget you see is the budget you've got. It may seem like an Alice in Wonderland plot, but the sooner you realize that it is not, the better off you'll be. With a budget that's built like a dinosaur, we should dump it just outside of Baltimore. With the feds at the jump and we're stuck with this lump of a gift for you and me. If you hear that the budget is balanced, don't believe everything that you hear. The same people would probably tell you that the Easter Bunny is here.
That the Easter Bunny is here.
And the budget you see is the budget you've got. It may seem like an Alice in Wonderland plot, but the sooner you realize that it is not, the better off you'll be. With a budget that's built like a dinosaur, we should dump it just outside of Baltimore. But the feds are the jump, and we're stuck with this lump. But the feds are the jump, and we're stuck with this lump of a gift for you and me.
In other words, one of the ways the government raises the money to pay for all those things in the federal budget is by taxing people.
Right, that's right. And the greatest of these is the income tax as collected by the IRS. No, listen. A lot of people fear an audit by the IRS, but, you know, it's no big deal.
Stanley V. Freeberg.
Right here.
So, Mr. Freeberg, you have never before been audited by the Internal Revenue Service?
Well,
Answer.
I asked my good friend, the distinguished author Ray Bradbury, to drop by tonight. Ray, tell us, what do you think of the federal budget as literature?
I don't know about that, but this is some of the greatest science fiction I've ever read.
Well, it's just about that time of day when all the people in our great federal establishment get off work. You know, the White House, Cabinet, Senate, House of Representatives, and all those agencies, otherwise known as the great bureaucracy of the United States government. Hark, I think I hear them now.
Make way for the great bureaucracy. Stand by for a war on poverty. And though it's possible you're not poor, it's true. You may be eligible before we're through. Who cares if your taxes may be steep? You'll have a portion you may keep.
Unless, of course, we need some more. You know the way expenses seem to soar. And after all, who did you think would end up paying for what's known as the great bureaucracy?
Three cheers for the great bureaucracy. Beloved by the universe are we. We're more adaptable than we've ever been.
Our foreign policy is just penciled in.
We've got a new attitude, you see. Let's call it flexibility.
One day a hawk, next day a dove. Both birds together working hand in glove.
And when you've got that kind of image, folks have got to love what's known as the great bureaucracy.
Hats off to the new economy.
From all inflation we are free. Our budget now, one happy blend. All money problems will be brought to an end.
Don't you wish somebody tell you what we're smoking, my friend?
Up here at the great bureaucracy.
Up here at the great bureaucracy. Up here at the great
Hi there. I'm Lee Kokomoko, chairman of Chrysler Tanks. Well, I don't mind telling you, we've had our problems here at Chrysler in the last year or two. No use hiding that. I mean, let's level up front, you know what I mean? But looks like things are going to be okay now, knock on steel. Thanks to you, the American taxpayer. I mean, sure, the federal government guaranteed the loan to Chrysler, but if we don't make it, hey, where do you think they'll get it? So the bottom line is, you end up bailing us out. And don't think that we aren't appreciative here at Chrysler to all you taxpayers. Now, as you may know, Uncle Sam gave us another little pat on the back recently here at Chrysler. The Pentagon awarded us a $10.9 billion contract for a whole new fleet of our new XM1 tanks. Now, that means we got to move all of these babies out. Now, what does that mean to you, Mr. and Mrs. Average Tank Buyer? Well, that means you can come on down here to Tank City and take advantage of us here at Chrysler. Oh, yes. First of all, not only are we going to give you a terrific rebate on your current tank, we're going to give you an offer you find hard to refuse. This tank. You buy this tank right here for a mere $899. That's $899,000 marked down from $1 million. And give you another tank for a penny. A penny. How about that, folks? A 1-cent tank sale. Yes, sir. You go to any other tank lot in this town, and you won't get a deal like the one we're offering here at Chrysler Tank. These babies are sweet. Look at that. Original tread, air conditioning, power turn. It's loaded. CB radio, racing stripes. Hey, I tell you what. You buy one of these this weekend, I'll throw in 500 rounds of 50-millimeter ammo. Hold it. And once again, thanks for the part you played, albeit unwittingly, in guaranteeing our loan. And if we can ever guarantee a massive loan for you, hey, just give us a ring here at Chrysler Tank if you're ever in the neighborhood, and I thank you very much.
Here you go, Ray. Your copy of the federal budget.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Ray Bradbury for dropping by the show tonight.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a ballet to waste.
mean 100 billion that was just misplaced, and add another 50 billion spilled in haste. Now what you got is mostly federal, governmental, governmental, simply monumental, monumental. Did we mention waste that the mind cannot begin to fathom? Bureaucratic, systematic, other times erratic. Mathematic theory wouldn't help a bit. Mr. C. Northcote Parkinson laid down his law, and it might be nice now to repeat it. He said that bureaucratic work expands to fill out the time that's available to complete it. May the good Lord forbid he finish the job ahead of the time. What a terrible crime not to use up the time, the allocated time some computer has carefully planned. So what you do is get on the phone with some government clone till the time has been blown, and you help to make the work expand. To make elephantine government more elephantine, there ain't no doubt. You gotta learn to drag it out. Waste. We're talking governmental. Waste. We mean 100 billion that was just misplaced, and add another 50 billion spilled in haste. And what you got is mostly federal, governmental, governmental, simply monumental, military. That is scary. That is very Pentagon-y. That is manic, made in panic, democratic and republicanic. That is piddling, fair to meddling, wild money's burning, congressmen are fiddling, and the federal phones are twiddling. It's a bureaucratic riddling, how they're diddling all or dough away. Bureaucratic, diplomatic, Middle Eastern, Asiatic. That is manic, made in panic, both democratic and republicanic. Economic, that is comic, itsy-bitsy waste and also astronomic. That's titanic, ultra gigantic, big production waste produced by Daryl Zanuck. Duplicative, collaborative, cumulative, legislative, candidative, ship of stative, regulative, appropriative, negotiative, aggravative, premeditative, contemplative, dislocative, quantitative, abominative, irritating, decapitative, annihilative, not to mention that it's also perforative. We mean apocalypsiative. Oh, the federal budget, the wonderful, fanciful federal budget. Oh, how can the people in Washington judge it? They can't. For the budget that used to be 300 million is suddenly hovering at 600 billion. One morning we'll wake up and find it's a trillion. Oh boy. If the government hasn't the money, what on earth will the government do? Well, now the part that gets funny. Now come take it from me and you. The budget you see is the budget you got. It may seem like an Alice in Wonderland plot, but the sooner you realize that it is not, the better off you'll be. With a budget that's built like a dinosaur, we should dump it just outside of Baltimore. But the feds are the jump, and we're stuck with this lump. But the feds are the jump, and we're stuck with this lump of a gift for you and me.
Hello there, people. It's Dean right here with another video. I've come down to the coast today. It's a beautiful, clear winter's day, and I thought I'd bring the camera down just to see if I can spot anything from this part of Burnt Island in Scotland. And lo and behold, looking at the coastline here, which I've checked is about 25 miles away. You see the tide going out there. You can see, just as the tide's coming away there, you can see a bit of sand there as the tide's going out. And I've spotted this tanker in the distance. It's a bit blurry today because of the haze and whatnot.
on this issue. I want to be clear. I am willing to work with anybody. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians, Greens, anybody to combat this threat on behalf of our kids. Time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Sticking your head in the sand might make you feel safer.
No way, and I turned it off. Then a few days went by, and I watched another. Then my curiosity kicked in, and I watched hours and hours of videos for the next month. I kept doing research until it was undeniable that the Earth was not a spinning ball, and that science has lied to us our entire lives. I realized, since I was already a truther, that this was the Illuminati's biggest secret and the biggest deception of all time. So for the last year, this new information has been a real burden to me, knowing that 95%, or forget that, more like 98% of the world is still being deceived.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns.
C'est quoi ce pays, papa?
Ce pays, t'as pas besoin de le connaître puisqu'on n'ira jamais.
Pourquoi?
Parce que c'est un pays qui n'existe pas.
Il n'existe pas?
Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. You can't handle the truth.
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns.
You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You want answers? You can't handle the truth.
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole because it's getting crowded up there now because they find out it's really usable. Not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing.
You're right.
There's a song me and Brad just wrote today called What's Going On? With Smiley, Chris, and Brian John. Here we go. What's going on? Smiley, Chris, and Brian John. Going on? I'm talking to you. Talk to me too. Going on? Something's going on.
Hey, friends! This time, I thought we'd tackle a sci-fi actioner that's a good example of what happens when interesting ideas simply don't add up.
Alright, watch some of this crap. Listen to Shitner.
Prime Video next week. And joining me now is the actor and now astronaut. Connect properly to do the interview.
I'm in addition to all of that, I'm an electronic technician holding my camera at arm's length, trying to keep Kate Baldwin at arm's length.
Well,
there it is.
So I do not think it is too bold to say that the world was captivated when you emerged from that capsule and spoke about your experience. It happened. Yeah. It's not. It happened during our show, and it was riveting because it was amazing to see, truly. And you said then something.
Yep, there's the amazing, truly amazing video footage of him going to space. Here's the video of him walking back to Earth. What?
Stuck with me. I hope I never recover from this. I hope that I can maintain that what I feel now, and I don't want to lose it. What did you want to hold on to? Were you able to keep it?
Yeah, what did you want to hold on to? And now listen to how he describes it.
Yeah. Yes, and I've been able to segment what it was I was feeling. When I came out of that spaceship, I must have been relieved to step onto firm. I felt an overwhelming sadness up there when I saw the Earth and how tiny the Earth is. I mean, we say
you saw how tiny the Earth is. You realize they're going to show a video where the Earth looks massive. There is no little ball.
Tiny, but when you can see the curvature and
where's the curvature? Wow, look at that curvature. Look at all that curvature. Realize that we're a tiny speck.
I mean, we say tiny, but when you can see the curvature from where you're standing and realize one end connects to the other in a very short while, you realize it isn't just tiny.
Literally right there looking out the window, and there's no curvature. They just feed you this horse shit.
Significant. And we are so insignificant.
And that's all I have to say about that.
You hear that? We are so insignificant. That's how amazing the ball Earth is and how amazing curvature is. It's so amazing that on their model, you're insignificant. On the flat Earth model, though, you're significant. But hey, let's hear more about being insignificant.
And the fact that my sadness came about by the knowledge of how much harm we're doing our Earth. And when I've been able to think about it more, Kate.
And the Earth is round, not flat.
How insignificant the Earth is.
We have action, sci-fi, evil corporations.
Pause, and that is one console, which is...
This guy's losing his mind.
We're here observing how insignificant we are. And that's what our purpose is. To see, and the ultimate message is we've got to stop polluting.
Yeah.
And even just hearing it, I don't think it's too corny to say I moved again, even hearing.
I moved again. Yeah, I'm sure you're moved again as you read off your script.
You describe and kind of.
You know what? I moved too. I moved again too.
Technologies won't let us connect again.
That's what I mean. And that's what I mean when you say, I hope you haven't lost it. That's exactly right.
I haven't lost it, Kate, and I'll let you know.
I haven't lost it. I haven't lost it.
You haven't lost it? This guy hasn't lost it, and then he goes.
Just I've made it more particular.
Right after, as we were watching this, your experience, he said, "This is exactly why they should put people other than engineers, other than scientists, up into space."
I contact a great poet and say, "Would you write me a sentence that I could say up there? Could you?" I was looking for help
Yeah, you need help. All right, that's it.
This is who you back. You back this creature right here if you think the Earth is round. And, I mean, to have someone like this defend this spinning ball Earth over here, it just shows you. This is all a joke to them. This is pure garbage. I don't know why they have to throw shade at flat Earth every chance they get.
Washing your hands does work.
I mean, look at this.
Social distancing does matter. And wearing a face covering does help protect all of us.
Yeah! And, like, listen to the way they say it. Let me go back to pretending like I'm typing on my computer and I say another snide comment real quick.
I do love science.
I do love science. Look at my stethoscope. I'm a doctor. Yay, science is back. Science is number 1.
Science is back, baby. And the Earth is round, not flat.
Oh, yeah. Amazing proof there. That was the most amazing proof. I'm convinced. They never have anything. It's just mockery. That's it. That's their only proof. Well, we'll just make fun of how stupid the flat Earth sounds. Okay, well, where's your proof that the Earth is a spinning ball?
Washing your hands does work. Social distancing does matter.
Propecia might work up on this mop top you got up here.
And wearing a face covering does help protect all of us. I do love science.
Okay. I do love science. Yeah, this is one of the most ridiculous videos I've ever seen. I'm so glad I don't love science. And that I don't put myself in the same category as these creatures.
The world is flat.
Yeah.
My sense that there have been 3 great eras.
Yeah.
Who claims the world is flat.
Yeah.
Look, he's got the world is flat on his forehead.
Yeah.
The earth is flat.
Yeah.
Hello, it's me. You know, indoctrination started while we were still naive. Programming our beliefs, and that inertia is the reason we don't feel the earth spinning. Hello, can you hear me? Did you ever stop to question the confession of gravity as a theory? Funny thing, force alone can be explained with buoyancy and density. The sun is closer than what they've told us, not 90 million miles away. Hello from the inside, I'm here to tell you not to lie, and there never was a space probe, and those planets you've left so wandering stars, Operation Fishbowl. There never was a South Pole. We're surrounded by walls of ice, and we clearly live inside of a glass door. Hello, how are you? Did you get a chance to join Flat Earth and Globe discussion group to discover all the truth? How the sun, the moon, the stars are all revolving around you. There's no more secret. The earth is stationary, it is fixed, unmovable. Hello from the brighter side. They fooled you with that CGI. Sending rockets into the sea, and then
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
Ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew it wasn't.
And some of those people actually still believe the Earth is flat. So if a few of them want to believe that we didn't go to the moon, let them. It's not an issue that comes up in my presentation.
I mean, the Earth being flat. That's I've actually been contacted by some flat earthers saying I'm covering up the fact that it's some.
Really, is that ultimately Truman preferred.
And so the dome must go. How can they get rid of the dome? Well, there must be a war in the Middle East. There must be a World War III, just as Pike told Mazzini, and it must be focused and centered on the Middle East. And maybe those buildings will be destroyed. Maybe they'll blame it on Iran or Iraq or some other Muslim Arab leader. The Kriegel guide, a pictorial guide to the temple. This is Herod's temple, and this is the temple that many believe that the Masons and the Jews want to rebuild. Others talk about building the Temple of Solomon. These scale models, and by the way, one of these scale models, it can be found in the Rockefeller Museum in Jerusalem. Yes, there is a Rockefeller Museum. What are the Chase Manhattan Bank's Rockefellers doing with a museum in Jerusalem, and why does it have a scale model of the temple to be rebuilt? By the way, here's a model of the Ark of the Covenant that these Jews of the Temple Mount Foundation claim that they have readied. They say the real Ark, they know where it's at, but here is just a part of it. By the way, in his book, Albert Pike, remember I talked about him, the former sovereign grand commander of Freemasonry. In this old book, Morals and Dogma, that he wrote, he talks about the meaning of the Temple of Solomon and the necessity of building a Temple of Solomon. In fact, he said, in essence, symbolically, the Temple of Solomon is built in the life of every Mason. So it is their goal to rebuild this Temple of Solomon. Now, let's move real fast here, and I wanted to tell you about this book, an amazing book. This man, John J. Robinson, wrote this book.
With the negatives, they're silver come from silver.
My name is Corey Hawkins, and I serve as the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Most Worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge Free and Accepted Masons jurisdiction of Alabama. And the Masons are here to participate in the commemoration of the crossing of the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
I couldn't get here for the 50-year celebration, and I've been wanting to get over here, so we had opportunity to come and experience, just say the Selma experience.
What brought you all here today?
Okay, we're the Road Runners Corvette Club out of Huntsville, Alabama.
Atlanta's Black Freemasons, adultery, mind control, and child prostitution in poor neighborhoods, and their grandmothers, who may be Eastern Stars, on Sweet Auburn Street, the Prince Hall Masonic Lodge. Look no further.
That some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. From anybody, don't give up on your dream. Their rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. Then they die. They stop growing. They stop working on themselves. They stop stretching.
I mean, them, you don't know who you are. I challenge you to ever be the best copycat in the world.
And even though you face disappointments,
when you become an individual,
that you can make your parents proud, you can...
As word broke about the Masonic Temple being the target, many people questioned why. We talked to people who belong to the Masons and members of the Muslim community.
There is a chapel inside of this center, but one Freemason says religion is not their focus. Masonic Center had happened. The temple is specifically for Shriners, but they're all Masons.
Freemasonry is the oldest and largest fraternity in the world. It can be traced back to Christ's time.
Jim says the group was started by men who built churches, but they're not a religion. In fact, he says the Shriners and the Scottish Rite are both non-denominational groups. The head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community was just as confused by the alleged plot.
No reason that they should, but in my opinion, there's no reason why they've done any of the shootings that have occurred around the country.
Now, I attempted to talk to the Masonic Center multiple times today. They told me no comment, but they were open like normal. Reporting live in downtown Milwaukee, Rebecca Clough, today's TMJ4.
Rebecca, thank you very much.
Esta é a grande loja da Inglaterra, a meca da maçonaria regular no mundo. O deles, onde as coisas são pouquinho mais caro. Aqui o material não é o mesmo, fazendo as grandes lojas unidas da Inglaterra. Está apresentada a parte externa, depois apresentaremos a parte interna.
Now at the East Toronto Masonic Temple, and right now is a setup where they're microchipping kids. They got hot dogs, they got hamburgers, they got sausages, they got bottled water, they got everything. So check it out. There they are.
East Masonic Temple doing a child identification program.
A video including the audio part. So the child speaks to the person who's doing the interviewing. Once that is all done, there's a paper printout with all that information.
Here we are, chilling out in the Freemason Temple on the east side, Danforth and Main, right beside KFC. They were nice enough to let us into their lodge. We went into their temple, or whatever you call it. We weren't allowed to film, but it was still cool. They talked to us, really nice guys here.
Boy back there too.
They're one of the most secretive organisations in the world.
There are certain secrets that you have to earn.
Because it's going to start the downfall of them. I wanted you to see how far I am from the Freemason Lodge. How I get protected when I ask for protection from Freemasons and Satanists. This is protection, right? Here we are. From my doorstep to Freemason Lodge. It didn't even take like 30 seconds, did it? No, it took 19 seconds. So.
My family are Freemasons. I'm the only girl to go into Masonry. If a man can do it, so can I.
For the first time, we've been given access.
Tonight for us, Pierre.
David, authorities say the suspect wanted to unleash a cold-blooded massacre and spark other attacks across the country. According to the FBI, Sami Mohammed Hamza, an American citizen, planned to go inside a Masonic temple in Wisconsin, lock the doors, and gun down 30 people. Hamza wanted a tour of the temple just last week after visiting a firing range, allegedly thinking he would carry out the attack with 2 other radicals using 3 machine guns with silencers. The FBI launched this investigation in September of last year. David?
Pierre Thomas.
Sinister. We're not trying to take over the world, despite all these conspiracy theorists. Responsibility for everything. And she's the head of the fraternity.
That building is shrouded in mystery. I'm Tony Robinson, and I'm on the steps of the United Grand Lodge of England. There is a secret handshake, but according to James, it's actually not really important. This really is, well,
This is definitely a throne. It was built for the Prince Regent, later George IV, as the first royal Grand Master.
Pretty special to you, isn't it?
Yes, this is one of the jewels worn by my grandfather, who was a Freemason in India, and it was typical of the sort of jewels that Freemasons would get after they'd been master of a lodge.
And this is what I've picked out, a photo of a woman Mason.
Yes. This Grand Lodge, which was founded in 1717, has historically always been all male. But at the beginning of the 20th century, they started women's Grand Lodges, and indeed, many of the suffragettes were Freemasons.
Really? Now that's something I didn't know.
They have the skull of Geronimo. They have the skull of Martin Luther King. They have the skull of whoever they want. But nobody goes into the tomb, because the tomb, the skull and bones, created the CIA via the KKK, via the Queen of England, via the Nazis. Educate people anymore? I don't want to try to educate stupid people. I'm sick of stupid people making stupid fucking posts on my hard work. I'm sick of being judged by stupid fucking people and Satanists. And most of all I give a shit about is one woman and writing poetry for her and doing what I've always dreamed to do, is just write beautiful fucking words.
And Andy, police sources tell me this isn't the first time a sex party has taken place behind me. A claim that Freemasons I spoke to today deny. They say they do not stand for this. It's a secretive organization sitting right next door to the Battle Creek Police Department and the county courthouse.
Thank you for calling the beautiful downtown Battle Creek Masonic Center. Renting our facility, please call Charlie at 269.
We called Charlie and told him how police sources described to us an out-of-control sex party scene. Police sources told us the first officer to walk inside was shocked to find a couple performing a lewd sex act right in front of him, along with multiple nude women, drugs, and men videotaping it all behind these closed doors. Charlie told me Freemasons don't go on camera, and he didn't know about the multiple arrests that were made that night.
One of the world's oldest fraternal organizations, and in Philadelphia they gather in a landmark building right next to City Hall. They are the Freemasons, and for centuries they have been surrounded by secrecy and rumor. Story, Dan?
How are you, Jim? They are known for their elaborate temples and arcane symbols. As you say, their Masonic Grand Lodge in Center City is a national historical icon. But what the Freemasons may be best known for among the general public is secrecy.
Stonemason named Hiram Habith, a master mason who, according to legend, was murdered by his 3 apprentices who wanted to know the secret password and handshake that would identify one as a master mason.
We had these modes of recognition, and that was like a union card back then.
In secrets, a word that could not be spoken in public.
And that's the password. And that's simply to recognize from one mason to another, to confirm one brother to another that yes, I'm a master mason.
It is a universal brotherhood, and so we can communicate as Freemasons universally with symbols and allegory.
By 1700, they evolved into a progressive gentleman's club, no longer limited to practicing stonemason.
The mid to late 1900s that we have seen a shift.
The Prince Hall Masons of Philadelphia most notably rally around the Stop the Violence campaign. Many believe the fraternity puts its members in key positions to help control the U.S. government.
To me, that's the stuff that movies are made out of. The conspiracists would just never go to rest.
But many of our founding fathers, including George Washington and Ben Franklin, were Freemasons. Philadelphia's last 4 mayors were all Masons. Mayor Wilson Goode, Governor Ed Rendell, Mayor Street, and current Mayor Michael Nutter. But even with all these influential Masons, membership is down. To boost it, they want everyone to know you don't have to be invited to be a Mason.
I cannot ask you to be a Mason. That desire must.
Yes. Yeah. And now that we have a U.S. Navy missile instructor and many other experts confirming that the Earth is a flat and motionless plane...
You're being sarcastic. That's a prank call. That's an ad hominem thing where people, there's seminar calls on that where you call in and then you say, oh, you're so accurate, you know, and then they add something like the Earth's flat. It's a standard tactic. It's like when, when Al Gore's before Congress and they say, you know, the truth is the Earth's been cooling for a few years. And he goes, yes, and you think no one went to the moon. And I'll be on national shows. They'll go, no one went to the moon, right, Alex? And I'm like, no, we went to the moon. They just put out some bad PR photos because the radiation damaged the film. They doctored them. And they didn't admit it to people. Let's go to... I don't believe the Earth is flat, but if the mainstream media started saying it was round, I might question them. I mean, that's how deceptive these people are, that you really can't believe anything they say. They taint, they twist, they spin.
And come out the other side where people walk upside down. Oh, but that's silly. Nobody... Oh! What if I should fall right through the center of the Earth? Oh.
And come out the other side where people walk upside down. Oh, but that's silly. Nobody...
One very quick question that I wanted to ask. Do you guys get NFL football up there?
Well, more than 660,000 Americans have died from COVID-19. And because some flat earthers meet Delta. Let me be blunt. If folks want to avoid
very well supported with whatever sporting events we ask, and the ground team will go ahead and set up whatever channel we request, and we just have to log into a computer, kind of like a teleconference where the other person is showing a TV set. So yeah, they help us out, and we've had the opportunity to watch games. In the past, I've asked for highlights to be shown, and it's fun for us to watch them.
Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show if you don't know it's part of the show. And they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars. Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged. Caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Impossible truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars. No remedy can't save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is the light and no hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard, that's it. Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show if you don't know. Intoxicated ache makes you believe you're spinning in space while you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate. Forced to try and wake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I got to liberate and fight through hidden gates. But my brother, heaven could never be late. And rockets don't work in space. It's all fake. The show is on Mars. It's a joke, but you're too far gone. It won't be long. Pepe's beak is strong. We have our sun and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that eats the bong and sings the song, turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown and all of us wearing our holy crowns. So the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along. Just to go along, I said, welcome to the show, where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Welcome to the show, where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show, if you don't know, it's part of the show. Then they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars. Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged. Caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Impossible truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your survey of gish galloping wars. No remedy can save the lost in love with the arm. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards. Poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is the life in a new hand of cards. Been so long it seems like for love I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard, that's it.
These are confusing times, which is just about the right time to have the Burger King Impossible Whopper.
If you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them failed. Look into it. They faked 6 moon landings.
Stop saying that.
If you look,
it's a radical thing to say to somebody.
Kind of is.
It's possible that the world is flat. I realize it's a radical thing to say to somebody.
Kind of is.
I think it's true. Actually possible that the world is flat.
I was overweight and looked terrible.
And sirens that place sailors under a spell with their songs to make them wreck their ships against the rocks. They thought the world was flat, and that the seas ended in a great abyss. But the sailor Christopher Columbus didn't believe the flat Earth idea.
Do it. Okay. Is the Earth flat?
But if the mainstream media started saying it was round, I might question them.
Yeah, and now that we have a U.S. Navy missile instructor and many other experts confirming that the Earth is a flat and motionless plane...
You're being sarcastic. That's a prank call. That it's just written in the firmament of the night sky. Think about that. Here's what happens. They think it's a flat Earth, too. Understand? They want to just go with the Earth is flat. In a global government globalism conspiracy, he's in a thing called globalism, saying globalism is in crisis. Global government is in globalist interest because the globalists came in. The globalist gutty. Globalism conspiracy.
He's a bachelor, and he works late. That much you got right. But you didn't dig deep enough. He's also a joiner. He belongs to lodges, and he never misses a meeting.
A series like that would be cool. We got Flat Stuff Earth here. That's cool. Hey, sup, man? How you doing? We're not talking about geocentrism tonight much.
Did you see that? My rock almost made it to the edge of the world! Like a basketball? They's all fake.
Okay, if the Earth is a pancake, then how do we get both day and night?
Because the sun is like a spotlight, and it moves around shining on one place at a time.
Okay, crazy.
But if the Earth is a pancake, why does not the water spill off the edges?
Yeah, water would spill right off into space.
Ha ha ha! Explain that, Mr. Pancake Earth! 2 words. Butter wall.
Butter wall?
Seriously? A butter wall? That's what I said, fool! There's a big old butter wall, and it circles the entire pancake Earth.
The butter wall keeps the water in.
Aha! Now you're catching on. You're beginning to see how reality really be.
These are confusing times, which is just about the right time to have...
To question. We have known the Earth is round for thousands of years. As early as 240 BC, Greek astronomer and mathematician Eratosthenes...
Did we all just die of boredom?
Look, it's the butter wall! You've got to be kidding me.
Wow, I never thought I'd say this, but Beast Boy was right.
That's right, baby.
You said that you felt that none of you were compensated adequately for what it was that you did for the country. Why do you feel that way? Can you tell us how much you were compensated? What do you think would have been adequate at that time? I mean, what you did was an amazing feat, and clearly something that carries with it a lot of national pride.
All of us, with the few exceptions, 2, 3,
were civilians, a geologist. Neil was a civilian, transportation, government meals, government quarters. So my travel reimbursement was $33.
Most of our satellites that are used for communications, military intelligence, and television broadcasting.
This is a hoax. It's a hoax. Everybody knows that.
Still, at the equator, you weigh about 0.5 kilogram less because more centrifugal force is generated where the Earth is flat.
We have extra ways to divide ourselves now because the internet makes it easy. If you have some idea that's a little bit crazy, but you don't think it's crazy, you type it in, and up comes everybody else who shares that exact idea. And so the tribalization now can cut through the population in other ways that have not been traditional. Mm-hmm. That's why you have the rise of flat earthers, right? They've all found each other. There used to be a lone person at the party that say, now they all have banded together. And so I don't think this is good as a general fact, because it's appealing to some base sort of caveman tribal element that we know is still in us. And one of the points of civilization is to tamp down what might be primal urges, and so that we all get along because we all share the same.
What you find is that they create a universe that is perfectly flat. Flat. Now, if your space-time is flat, think about that. Sort of flattened circle. Why aren't they some other shape? And you say, I don't know. I'll get back to you. What you find is that they create a universe that is perfectly flat. Flat. So, Isaac Newton, without the need to sort of to research it.
The fundamental fact of calculus and non-Euclidean geometry. Small sections of large curved surfaces.
What about the idea that every individual feels the need to join some kind of movement?
Listen, B.O.B. once and for all.
Is that a wrong idea?
Isn't flat.
Then
becomes being harmful. Becomes being harmful. Becomes being harmful to the health, the wealth, and the security of our citizens. It's a symptom of a large problem. There's a growing anti-intellectual strain in this country. It may be the beginning of the end of our informed democracy. Discovery and exploration got us out of the cave, and each generation benefits from what previous generations have learned. Flat. 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 Flat.